Hello, fellow educators. Today we are going to dive right into how to record what's happening on your computer screen so that way your students can see it. Maybe you want to show them a video of you performing a particular task or going through directions on how to complete an assignment. Whatever it is that you're doing on your computer that you want to be able to share with your students, you can do that using a lot of different tools. But there are a few that, at least in my opinion, are particularly helpful and pretty easy to use, at least to start off with. And the first one, the one that I'm going to share with you today, is called Screencastify. Now, Screencastify is a free plugin. It is for Google Chrome. So if you're a Chrome user, then awesome, you're in good shape. If you don't use Google Chrome, I would highly suggest that you start to look at that and consider making a shift. Whether you're using a Windows computer, a Mac, or anything else for that matter, Chrome is hands down probably the best browser that is out there. And so that's what we're going with for the moment anyway. Now, the Screencastify plugin is free. However, there is a paid version of it if you want to go down that particular road. There's a whole school building, school district, and individual teacher licenses that are available, and they allow you to have a few extra features which are very, very helpful, but not necessary, especially not necessary for just getting started. I do recommend it for schools. I definitely think that it would be something that school administrators should look at considering getting for their entire building or their entire districts. But for the moment, we're just going to talk about how you do a basic screen recording using Screencastify. So let's jump in. All right, the first thing that you're going to want to do is open up a new tab, and then you're going to want to go to the Chrome Web Store. Once you're in the Chrome Web Store, you're going to go ahead and click and search the store, and you're going to search for Screencastify. Click on Screencastify, and then choose Add to Chrome. It says, Add Screencastify to Chrome, ? And you're going to say, yes, add extension. It's checking. And then it tells you that it has been added. You know that it's been installed because it has that little salmon-colored arrow pointing to the right there. Perfect. So now we're all set. We're ready to go and jump into Screencastify. So what I do is I click on my extensions by clicking on this little puzzle piece here. I'm going to click on the Screencastify plugin. It's going to want to do some authentication. And so now it's going to say, hey, you need to sign in with a Google account. And that's perfectly fine. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to sign in. I'm going to sign in with my account here. I'm going to choose to allow it. Now, whether you're using a personal account or a school account, the connection back to Google is actually really important, and you'll see why in just a few moments. So I'm going to agree to these. No, I'm not sending occasional emails. Not doing that. Go ahead and choose the option that is appropriate for you. All right, now it says, say cheese. Please grant access to your webcam and microphone so that you can use them in your recording. So you enable the webcam and microphone. Allow. And so hopefully you have both a web camera and a microphone on your computer to be able to allow it. And now you will enable the annotations. This just allows you to be able to do some like writing over top of different screens. Now, I'm not going to do this walkthrough here. You could definitely do that if you want to. All right, so you're at this My Recordings page. You haven't recorded anything yet, and so there's nothing there to be recorded, but you are all set. You are ready to go. Let's do a first recording. Go ahead and click on the Screencastify plugin up here in the extensions bar. Now, you're presented with three different options. Browser tab, which means that you're recording only one single tab. Now, if you have multiple tabs open and you want to toggle between those tabs, that's not the one. That's not the choice for you. If you want to record everything that's happening on your desktop, then you're going to want to choose desktop. If you want to record only the webcam, so meaning just a visual of you from your webcam, then that's what you're going to want to choose. You're going to choose web camera only. For me, for this purpose, I'm going to choose desktop, and I'm going to make sure that my embed webcam is toggled on. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click record. It's going to ask me which screen do I want to record. I only have one set up here, so I'm going to choose that one. I'm going to click on it. Notice how it becomes outlined in gray. Then I click the gray share button. It did a little countdown there, and that just indicates that it's about to start the recording process. And in the bottom right corner here, I now have my webcam embedded, which is very nice. I also have this little Screencastify notification happening at the bottom of my screen, where it tells me that it's sharing my screen. It's sharing everything that's happening on my screen with this recording process. If I choose stop sharing, it's going to stop recording altogether, which is not what I want to do right now. So I'm going to just choose hide, which gets rid of this notification. Then I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to open up Google Drive. And maybe if I was trying to teach my students how to create a new document or something that I wanted them to do in Google Drive, and you wanted them to have a new Google Doc or a new Google spreadsheet, then you would just start to walk them through whatever it is that you want to show them how to do. And likewise, you would also have the ability to open up any programs on your computer. So if I needed to, all of a sudden I needed to pull up a calculator, right? I could just type in calculator here and you'd be seeing that even though it's a local desktop application on my computer. So really anything that you're recording on your screen, including your webcam, can all be put together and fused together in this Screencastify recording, which is really a pretty awesome thing when you think about what you could do with it in order to communicate to your students effectively and efficiently, right? There's a lot of possibilities. Last thing I did want to point out here, just because this is just a first round introduction to Screencastify and screen recording. Bottom left corner here, you notice that on some pages you're going to land up with these annotation tools. And that's going to allow you to basically have a kind of like an ink layer over top of your screen. Now, if you had a drawing tablet, this would be a great place to be able to utilize that, to be able to, again, annotate over your screen. If you don't, no worries. You don't need it. It's just that it's a little bit clunky to use with a mouse or a trackpad. Doable, but it's just a little bit clunky. Definitely would recommend the use of a drawing tablet. But that's really it. I mean, now that it's been recorded, I'm going to click stop up here in my top right corner. I click stop here. So you'll notice that it's saving this video to Google Drive. And up top in the you'll see that it's actually named Untitled Video, and you're going to want to give that a title. So I'm just going to call this Welcome to Screencastify. And then once once it's done saving, that video will be accessible to you inside of both Screencastify, but it's going to be accessible to you inside of Google Drive. So inside of Google Drive, you'll be able to share that video out with your students. You'll be able to give them a link directly to that video. You'll also be able to publish the video to YouTube, which is, again, something that I would highly recommend. You can get the embed code if you need to. You can send it in an email, a link to that video. And you do have always have the option of downloading the video, which, again, is a really potentially valuable tool to have. So a really great program. All right, the video has finished saving to Google Drive, and I can see that because it's telling me to copy the shareable link, right? So immediately it's going to allow me to copy that. Now I can post that into my learning management system if you're using Schoology, or if you're using Canvas or Moodle, or really any other platform at all. And you could just paste that in there. You could also just send it out in an email. You could put it onto your Google Classroom, wherever it is that you want to give students access to this video from. Well, that's just a quick introduction to how to use Screencastify. I didn't go into all of the nuts and bolts. There's a lot more to the program. However, at its base core, it's about recording the screen and then being able to share it back with your students. And it's a pretty simple and intuitive process once you've done it a few times. So get in there, create a few videos, share them out with your students, get some feedback from them as far as what they think about your videos, share them with your colleagues, see what they think, see what they're creating. Keep up the good work. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Please feel free to comment down below, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you next time. Until then.